My brain is going crazy and I can't get it to shut off. That's the time to actually do a full reset. That's how you know it's time to do a brain dump to beat overwhelm. In this video, I'm gonna show you my system for when I am so off track and so overwhelmed and need to kind of do that big brain dump. My brain is going crazy and I can't get it to shut off. So that's the time to actually do a full reset. So I'm gonna show you that process now. All right, moms, we are in the middle of the year. It is June, I cannot believe it, and I am completely overwhelmed. My work contract is about to be over. I am deep into job hunting for full-time work. The kids have just got out of school. We're getting ready to go on vacation. My house looks like a dang bomb went off, and things are just crazy. When things get that way, that's a trigger to me that I have fallen off of my systems. First thing that we're gonna do is do a complete brain dump. Really, anything that's in my mind that's a to-do item, all of the tasks that are flying around my head, I just need to put pen to paper and get them on here. As I write the tasks down, I do try to categorize them in some way or group them similar tasks together. Once we group our liked items, we'll give them a category. We can understand what the priorities are, and then that is when we move to actually planning them out for the next day. So if you can see here, this is just from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Sunday. We can actually plot them on the calendar to help plan those items. So without further ado, here we go. Because I'm so far behind in my system, here is where I'm going to get out my planner and flip through it to see what other things just fell off that I might be missing. Okay. Now that I have brain dumped, and I can tell it's been way too long because I almost can't even put them into categories. So I'm going to attempt to do that now. Because my brain dump is a little overwhelming, I'm gonna get out some of my fun markers here. Now all I'm gonna do is, in no color order, I am going to group my like things so I can kind of start to visually organize this a little bit better. All I can say is there's a lot on here that I do not want to do, and that is why the system fell off. Now, because there's so much stuff on here, I'm actually a little bit overwhelmed thinking about planning it all. It's not all things that have to be on the schedule next week, but it's all stuff that's in my mind that I'm feeling anxious because it's not getting done. There's a lot of things on here that I really am excited to have them done, but doing them is feeling very stressful right now for me. So what I'm gonna do is actually do a draft of what I'm gonna do here. I may not even worry about the time and just kind of start plotting it on particular days. So for example, this week my daughter graduates from kindergarten, so there's a couple things I need to do by Wednesday. On Saturday, we're gonna have her little 5th birthday party with family. Then we're gonna turn right back around and plan for Father's Day, and then we're going on vacation, so I'm getting a little bit twitchy with all of that. So what I'm gonna do is kind of take items from here, which I've shown as purple is what I need to be doing for my daughter specifically this week in terms of her birthday and graduation. Anything in red are other things that should be prioritized for this week. Anything in orange is stuff that I'd really like to get done, but you know, I'm gonna give myself grace if I decide that I'm not going to do it this week. And then everything else I can kind of fill in as my energy ebb and flows. So I have a note to myself to ebb and flow with my energy levels. That is a way to kind of keep myself from getting frustrated or beating myself up for not getting stuff done that's on my list. And then you can see here that I actually have categories, so this was more just stuff for my daughter for this week. This is just miscellaneous to-dos that I have to actually own and do. The house is crazy, so this is everything that has to do with the house to kind of help reset the home. Any yard work that I want to get done. I really enjoy yard work, but also I'll try to balance it with the inside house stuff, so it gets its own category. This here is everything related to my side hustle here on this channel. And then everything over here is more related to my or current kind of job search. I need to make some doctor's appointments, so I actually listed out some of those. And then just a little bit of some fun things that I'd really like to try if or when time allows, if I feel like being spontaneous. There's a chia jam recipe and protein pancake recipe that I really, really want to try at some point if all the stars align. So now I'm going to take this and put it into here. Because I am so deep in the weeds with my to-do list and all the things that I want to do, prioritizing is obviously a little bit hard. I'm actually not going to focus a lot on the time, so I'm just gonna kind of mark that out. I might put it in some chronological order with things that actually have specific due dates or timing on them, but I'm not gonna think about that right now. I'm just gonna kind of worry about what makes the most sense for these items to do in what day. Now, this starts with Monday. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I hate it, but that's just how this template is for right now for me. And I'm gonna put this Sunday. This is today's Sunday. This is next Sunday. We'll go next. So today of filming, this was a Sunday. Today, there are some things that I need to take care of with my husband today. Some conversations to have maybe at dinner time. I am back and feeling a little bit better. I am so overwhelmed, almost have a breakdown. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Anything that's not these high priority items are things I'm gonna pull out. Next step is going to be transferring all of these back into this format. I'm gonna clean it up so that when I look at it, I'm not so overwhelmed, so that I get a better handle on what tasks I do want to actually accomplish and can kind of start to fit those in, because this week obviously is really full, but if I can keep a handle on what's here, I can start to actually work ahead and then build in planning for next week as well. I sometimes work a little bit better in about a 2-week increment, but it's too far out to get too deep into actually scheduling. I'm gonna do this offline and I will come back here and at least show you what it looks like. Everything here that didn't get put into the planner is now here. I'm gonna transfer over my categories here. Oh, you know what? The most important part is transferring some of this other stuff over. Now, make this week better than last. I love that one. And then I remind myself that I can ebb and flow with my energy levels. This, as a busy mom, is huge. You need to be able to give yourself grace. Putting this front and center is a big deal. Putting in a little color, because you know, I just like a little hit of dopamine here. That is it, guys. Holy moly. Got my planner here. I've got my miscellaneous to-dos, so if I find any of this stuff makes its way off my list and I've got actual extra time to do things, that's when I pull from here. Or if there's something here that I absolutely just cannot do, then I can take it off of this list, put it on this list, and kind of do a little recycle in that way. I will keep this right here in my planner so that I have it with me. And then ultimately, when I'm at my desk here with work, I'll fill it in with my work things, but keep in mind all of the other things that I need to do outside of my workday. And I don't know about you, but my brain right now feels a million times better. This was much needed, and I'm really excited to kick this week off on the right foot. And that keeps my mind feeling right. It keeps me in a positive mindset, which means I can be kind to myself. I can feel like I'm being a good mother and kind to my children, and really helps me to get grounded. So I really hope that this was helpful. If so, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Comment below on if you are a digital planner or you like to handwrite. I will tell you, I'm a little bit of both. It just kind of depends on my mood. When I'm deep in the weeds, I am all for physical writing. I have to. That's the only way I can get out of it. I also am gonna share a couple resources down below. Make sure you check that out, the description box, and get your hands on those. And I'll see you in the next one.